Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Talking Shh. May 22nd, 2023. Got some interesting things going on today on this show. So, if you know us and you like us and you love us and you're here and you're watching, do me a favor, click that like button. It really helps us spread our shit talking to all of the avenues of talking shitdom. So let's see. Today we're going to be talking about several cool things. We've got buddies who were at the Comic-Con Revolution in Ontario, both as attendees and running booths. So we got some cool information about that. We got Fuzzy just having gone to go see Fast X, and he's pretty fired up about that. So we'll see how that ends up going. We've got, let's see, what else did I have planned for today? We've got the death of Ray Stevenson, who, it's a shocker for everybody. Rest in peace, Mr. Stevenson. And then we've got, if time permits, we've got Fuzzy's True Comic-Con Stories. That's always a good time. So as we're waiting for my buddies to filter in here so that we can get talking all of our stuff, I want to let you guys know that I'm replete with sadness because my Lakers got swept. They have been living on a prayer all season long. It seems like, they started so far back. So finally caught up with them. No prayers answered. Seems like they were in all of the games. Oh, we got my first attendee today from Tennessee, the JD Geek. Welcome, Mr. JD Geek.
How's it going?
Let me get the right. Booyah. All right. Oh, yeah. We're also going to be talking about Indiana Jones and the death of my childhood.
You mean Indiana Jones and the Last Jedi?
Yeah, it's well, we'll get into it. So, is your convention coming on? Is it coming up, or did you go to one already?
No, it's coming up this weekend.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah. It'll be the first convention I've been to since before COVID, so.
Oh, nice. Now, is there any specific thing that you're looking to really get into there? Do you have you're just going to wander in and have a good time, or are you looking to get into do you have an agenda?
Yeah, my agenda is to not get pissed.
Speaking of agendas and not being pissed, let's get our whatnot buddy in here. Super Fuzz.
Boys, I don't know what I'm gonna do. My faith in the Fast and the Furious has been crushed, and I'm trying to redeem myself for the pain that I had to put my family through of dragging them to see that movie. And Jaded Geek, I'm telling you this. It's a Liz and You movie because it ends the way you love every movie to fucking end. Okay, because let me tell you, and I'm not talking fucking Better Luck Tomorrow fucking ending like that, like where it's like, oh, he rides off the sunset. Okay, maybe something happens if we don't. No,
with the guy he murdered's girl.
Let me tell you. Okay, spoiler alert. If you want to, I'm going to tell you guys because I have to tell you. All right.
Honestly, Fuzzy. This movie isn't on my. I haven't seen the last four. Since Paul Walker died, that was the last one I saw. Actually, yeah, that's the last one I saw. It was Paul Walker.
Okay, audience, mute it for at least. Give me 3 minutes of muteness. If you don't want me to spoil it, because I'm going to do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The car flies off on fire. Okay, I'm talking. You've seen it in the trailer. He's going down the side. Catches on fire, What does he do to get away from it? Go ahead. Take a guess. Hits the
Drive
nitrous.
through water?
He hits the nitrous. What happens when nitrous gets in fire? It explodes. Not in Dom's car because he's got family. You know what I'm saying? He does the jump. He does it. He fucking crashes. Okay? He crashes. He saves his son. They're hugging each other.
Because he's got family?
Because
that's great.
it's a running theme in my review. Just look at it. He's hugging his kid. He's hugging the kid. And then you see Momoa. He goes like this. He pulls a plug on this little remote control. You hear beep, 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 beep. Guess what's on the dam? A bomb. And you literally see a Lord of the Rings fucking ending, and he goes like this. Cut to black. So they don't even show if he...
Not even a post-credit scene?
Oh, no, there was. And then when I don't want to spoil that. If you want me to tell you that, I'll tell you that.
I don't care. I'm not going to watch it.
Gal Gadot is still alive. No one dies in the Fast and the Furious franchise, okay? She pops out of the fucking submarine.
Does she have a lasso?
No. I literally yelled at my kids and the wife. I said, "Get your shit. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get that." And everyone kept saying, "No, you got to wait." I was like, "I don't care. What's next, dude?" I was like, "That is some horse shit, dude. Like, oh my God." No. But the part that killed me were like, remember...
Well, not only does nobody die, there's one thing if nobody dies, right? I mean,
there's no consequence.
But they become friends with all the bad guys.
Oh no, not in this one. No, they played to that. Like Jack Ryan's in the movie. Fucking but Momoa, the only reason why you watch it, I tell everyone that they should watch it, is Momoa is Joker-ish, like fucking crazy. Like he's like way out there. Like he makes the movie. He carries the whole movie. Like you're rooting for the bad guy in this movie because he's that
because
crazy.
Because it's Fast and Furious.
I guess, dude. Even I was explaining it the last show. Dude,
in my car.
My car. That was my favorite line. That one, and he goes. At one point, a Mustang flips over. Okay, brand new Mustang flips over. Dom's down, and they're shooting at him, right? And they're going, and he looks, and there's a piece of rebar, and of course, because he's got family, he could bend the rebar and put it into the steering wheel and put it into the gas pedal, turn the car on, and it's upside down. Okay, it's upside down. With one arm and a machine gun in the other hand, he lifts the car up and flips it so the car can drive and do a fishtail and kill somebody as he's machine gunning down people. That's family. Family does that, dude. I tell my family, I go, if I ever get in some shit, you got to stay with me so I can survive it. Family.
Oh my God. It's family, huh?
I can't defend this movie, but just like everything else, it ended on a cliffhanger. So now they're going to get my money for the next one. And the whole movie, I'm going to be yelling, boo, boo, boo.
So you're going to watch it then?
I have to. Look, I have OCD or whatever you want to call it, dude. Like where you can't have anything
over-the-counter drugs.
Hey, I'm on all of that, dude. Like it's just, if there's somehow a sequel to something, I have to watch it. So, yeah, I'm stuck watching this next one.
You lie. You never saw Balu Bali Part 2.
Because that there's no need for that. I didn't care how that ended. Like that's how bad it was to me. Swords.
So you're saying you love this?
I love more of them than I hate some of them. Like this, I'll tell you this though. This was better than the last one only because of Momoa. Like he was a good character, like really good bad guy character. Like I liked him. I was like, oh shit, this guy's cool. But everyone else was just terrible. It was terrible.
Terrible?
Terrible.
So I wonder how they're going to have Jason Momoa end up being friends with them in Fast 15.
Oh, no. They're gonna kill him somehow, I hope, dude, because that's too good of a character.
How did they make Charlize be their friend in this one?
because the he comes in and takes her henchman, and so now the enemy of their enemy is her enemy, and fucking all that shit. I stopped paying attention to the story halfway through, and then when he lifted the car up with his own one arm, I literally slapped my kid in the chest and I started laughing. We were both just dying laughing because we were like, oh my God, dude, this is getting ridiculous, dude. Like, you don't need no shot for super serum to be Captain America. All you need is family. That's it, dude. If you have family, dude, you can do anything you want.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't want to go see that. You know what I do want to go see? I'm excited about this week. I want to go see The Machine.
No, you're going to see Little Mermaid. Don't lie, dude.
No. You know what? I did like the cartoon of Little Mermaid, but I haven't seen any reviews come back for it. So if it was just, I don't know.
I'm gonna have to see it because it's one of my wife's favorite movies. So she already announced it to us that she says she has to go see all these boy movies. We have to go with her to see The Little Mermaid. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, but I'm going to see Barbie. You come see Barbie with me and shit. And I don't want to see Barbie. I was like, fuck.
So no respite.
Yeah, I'm gonna go, and I'll bet you it'll be better than Fast and the Furious. I'll bet you it has a fucking ending.
Yeah. Probably,
and then what's scaring me is because Mission Impossible's part 1. So help me God, if it ends that way too, I'm gonna lose my shit, dude. Like, I'm gonna fucking yes, 2 helicopters. Fucking, he can do anything. In the part in the trailer where he's like, I'm coming for you, son. And he fucking throws it in reverse and he falls out of the sky and lands on top of 2 cars. No scratch on his, but every fucking car got crushed as if an anvil fell on top of it, and he peels out. Then the helicopter shit. Again, I paid my money for that. I was all in for it. Like, the whole time I was like, okay, dude, this is just crazy shit. Like, I'm in. But then they had to go and give us that ending. Like, dude, Nando, my man. Dude, Nando cleaned house at the Comic-Con this weekend. He's gonna put me out of business, dude. Like, I had to round him up to be my partner in 626 just so people would come to my booth because he's got so much fire in his booth. Like, he was even making me spend money.
And that's interesting, right? Because the way you're going to make money at any convention or selling any of your wares, unless you have a ridiculous overflow from your PC, your personal collection, you got to be able to buy shit at one price and get your markup to sell it at another price. And a lot of the times the people have either stores or reputations to where they become the person that's notoriously gone to be able to buy the collections. So,
well, he has a good collection he just bought. Like, he has a really good collection.
And no, it's interesting to see.
No. Watch, come down to 626 Comic-Con and you can dig through his box. I literally have him next to me. We're sharing a booth because I need his good juju to rub off on me.
Yeah, the X-Men #1 that I bought from you for a great price from Nando. That's the one I got back. I got the signature verified. It came back at a whopping 6.0, which was a tad bit depressing, but I blame that on Sanchez.
I was about to say that's Sanchez's fault, dude. That ain't Nando's fault.
No, that's not Sanchez's fault. I should have probably got it pressed first, right?
Yeah, but even then it wouldn't help that much.
What are you gonna do?
Exactly. That was the show itself, as far as like turnout. was fucking really good. Like,
well, they had a
really,
good
like,
lineup. I mean,
yeah.
they've been doing much better with their lineup. I was kind of bummed. I honestly I could have fought more to try to get into this. I could have done more to get into this one, even without paying. But these conventions keep coming back to back to back to back to back to back. I can't go in there and not spend any money. So
Yeah.
times are tough, man. I'm
I
hurting.
know.
Hey,
Yo,
got
There we
sound and
go.
everything.
what's going on?
There you go.
There he is.
Whoop, there he is.
Captain America himself. He's got family. He can do anything.
Family. Family.
Yeah, sorry
But
about that. I think it's my
No.
my old iPhone 6. I think that's the cause.
Oh, so you followed my advice?
Yeah, I snaked the phone, and now things seem to be working just fine.
Right on.
So
Right on. All right. So we need Jaded for some of these things coming up. Let's well, you still haven't gone into the show too much, Fuzzy. You had lots of the hose was kinked. The hose was kinked. So let's do it. Comic-Con Revolution. Good show. Lots of cool people.
Awesome. But like with me, Fuzzy, I like to spread the love always, dude. So friends wanted to get in, I let them get in and stuff. And so our booth was bigger. We had more stuff than that anyone can move around and get stuff in. You know what I'm saying? It was just an overzealous amount of stuff. So it was hard for people to get in and dig and stuff like that. So, it's a lesson learned. It was no one's fault. Like, that's why, again, I still did better than I did when I was, in Las Vegas and stuff. Dude, no, I didn't guide you. Shut up. I didn't do shit, dude. This guy did it all on his own, dude. All I did was fucking say, that's a good book. That's it, dude. That's all I said. But, like, he did, like his booth was really nice setup and stuff. I just had so much stuff it couldn't fit, and then we had Greg the Hammer Valentine right in the front, dude. Like, you know what I mean? And I felt bad because I didn't want to keep Greg all squashed up and stuff, so we gave him some space. And then
So you had flashbacks of Vegas?
No, it was bigger. There was still more room, you know what I mean? But just at this time, the problem was the abundance of stuff that we had was just the booth wasn't big enough. Like, I needed another booth to fit everything in there, and I had 2 booths. So we paid the big money, and we got our money back, and we made a little bit of money. So, and I didn't have to pay for a hotel or anything like that. So, technically it was a good show, but I know it could have been better if I had more room, which is my fault. It's
or
no one
how about
else's
your
fault.
organization?
Right. Even that. But like you'd be surprised. Like, the one thing I'm finding funny at all these shows, like, it used to be like if Chris Claremont's there, everyone's going to be looking for like X-Men stuff, right? Like, that's the time I'm always being hit up for X-Men stuff. Vegas, we brought all the Tinian stuff. We brought all the Eastman stuff, right? The Ninja Turtles, all that stuff. Didn't sell one. Guess what I sold a lot of at fucking Ontario? All the Something's Killing and all the Turtle stuff. Not one X-Men book. I was like, Jesus, man. Yeah, we had a good time. It was good. And then Greg made out like a bandit. Everyone loved him. We had one dick customer where I was like, I'm glad I didn't hear him when this was going on, because I was like, why didn't you come get me and shit? But I guess, Greg was charging $40 for a signature. The wrestlers they had there were charging $100 if you wanted to get something like a WWE belt or something signed. He's charging $40, $60 to get a picture, and so it's reasonable. It wasn't crazy. And this guy started arguing with him because he wanted my hard to find figure and his signature for $40. And he was like, no way, that thing's like $150 fucking figure. Still, it was mint on the card and shit. And he's like, oh, well, and they started arguing back and forth. He's like, I'm a true fan, man. You should be giving me this stuff. I shouldn't have to pay for it.
Hey, Nando, those aren't going through Instagram too well. If you can send them through like Facebook Messenger, then they're easier for me to get to. It's asking me to do the newest version of the Instagram app, and I don't have an app, or I'm not using apps on this. That's more of a phone thing. So if you want to send it through Messenger, I can get to it. And then send me your email too, dude. I can get you on here. I'll just send you a link. You can come talk, man. All my homies are welcome. If you got shit to talk, let's do it.
They had, but steady amount of people. Everyone was buying. They were walking around having a good time. I saw a ton of great cosplay, and what is it? See, X-Men was selling his booth, not of mine. I was selling everything, but literally, I sold more Superman books than I have at any show. I was like sad when people came to buy them. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I got it. Giving up stuff that I didn't want to give up and stuff I wish I could have kept, but you got to do what you got to do. But I got to see the Comic Cave. And then I sold, Lego brought his book and some of his art. And so I sold one of the Bart Simpson print that he has where he's melting away. I sold that for $5. So I was like, hell yeah, I made Lego some money. I made everyone money except me.
And if you didn't, you covered your costs to have the booth there, and you walked out with a little bit of money, but did you make up for what you had paid for the stuff that you were buying to sell?
No, I walked out with a little bit less than I wanted, but more than I thought I would have at the end of the show. So if that makes sense, like I wanted to hit a certain number. And I thought I was going to end up getting this, but I got it like right in the middle. So I'm not upset or anything. I'm definitely going to do it again for that place. I think it's a fun show because it's literally 30 minutes away. I get to just set up and leave my stuff there. I don't have to keep coming in. I just hate the last day of tearing it down. And I was hoping my kid would do it for me, but they threw his birthday party that day on Sunday, and I was like, "Oh, you bastard! You planned this, didn't you? Because you knew I was going to need your help."
Conspiracy goes back to the Kennedy murders.
That's right. I think Lee Harvey Oswald was working with my kids on that one, dude. Bastard.
So how did Hammer do?
He did great. In fact, he did so good that me and him started talking about maybe doing a kind of a documentary of me going to Vegas and stuff and talking with him. And then he even brought up about maybe like in a couple months, bringing the Honky Tonk Man down so they can have a rhythm and blues tag team reunion. And we'll do a signing like that. And I was like, yeah, dude, I was like, I'm down because he likes the whatnot. Like he thinks it's really cool and stuff. So he's been having fun doing, like he wanted to do it both days. And I kept telling him, I'm like, we can't do it too much because then, everyone's just used to it all the time. There you go. Look at that booth.
Oh, you can see Havoc on there.
Yeah, he was sleeping somewhere. So you want to hear you? So the rule always is at every show, whoever makes the most has to buy the first round. That's always the deal. And then Nando, I go up to him like halfway through the show, right? And I go, "Hey, Nando, so you buying the first round, right?" And he goes, "No. I'm barely making any money." I'm like, don't fucking lie to me. I'm like, I made money and you have more people in your booth and I see you working with more people and your pocket looks fatter. So I know you made money. I didn't make no money. Steve and everyone, we go to the DoubleTree hotel right behind us and start and grab some drinks. And we're sitting there. Fucking Sanchez gets plowed, dude. Just fucking hammered, dude. Like I don't know what happened because he can usually hang with us, dude. But like I drank about the same. I think he just had a Jack and Coke, like, and that fucked him up like to no end. So I left. I was like, all right, because they wouldn't let us into the club because we didn't have collared shirts and jeans on. Like you had to be dressed up. It was like where pimps go to get their hoes and shit like that. And I was like, all right, I'm getting out of here then. So I leave. I wake up next morning, come to go get in line, and there's Nando, and he goes, fucking Sanchez passed out in his car. I go, what? He goes, yeah. He he called me this morning and fucking said, can he borrow our shower because he fell asleep in the car. And I was like, oh shit. Later I see Steve comes walking in and shit. And he's just like, I almost made it home, but I just put the keys on the floor and passed out. It's like, shit, dude. So Sanchez didn't make it the whole con. He left halfway through the second day.
Man,
Before anyone wanted him to help us move.
You gotta get him an
or anything.
apnea intervention, bro. I'm worried about him, dude. I'm not even talking shit.
Oh, we've told him. We've been serious with him. We had a serious talk. Yes, he was vintage Havoc. He was pretty. And then Tom brought over this. We met a girl, and at the first 626 Comic Con, she was an artist and a cosplayer, and she became friends with us. And she was like, "Can I come and help you guys with the booth?" We were like, "Yeah, dude, come." So she came the whole weekend with her mom. And then her husband came, and so they joined us for drinks. And then I met Mog Park, the artist. Her husband came down with us, and we all sat around and drank and had some good good times and stuff. And then the next morning, I'm hungover, like a little. I wasn't bad hungover, but I was a little bit hungover. And fucking, they kept talking to me, and they were like, "Yeah, you were saying you might do whatnot today. You should come over to our booth." I was like, I don't think I should do whatnot today. I'm not very enthusiastic right now, or I'm sweating balls here and shit like that. But they gave me their cards and stuff, and so I'm pivoting. I think my whatnot business in a different direction now. I think I'm gonna start hosting a lot of things and just getting a little commission off of stuff. You know what I mean? Like just going to people and having them do it and just be like, look. Cut me a piece of it and we'll call it a day, because in that way they can make money, because I seem to be good at that, but when I bring my own shit, it doesn't seem to work. So and the guy was trying to offer me like a podcast. I was like, I don't want to do a podcast.
And yet here you are.
I don't consider this a podcast. It's a video cast or something. At least we got cameras. We can make silly faces and shit into it,
Fair enough.
But yeah,
Right.
it was a good show, dude.
Did you get a chance to get out of your booth?
Oh yeah, no, I walked around and I checked, and there was, your typical people were there, Elvin and all those guys, and again, it looked like
The thing
everyone.
I'm curious about is, suppose I had, if I had sucked it up and gone there, and actually paid the money to get inside of there. Are the people still selling shit thinking it's 2020, or are the prices starting to get to where are people just paying money to show off their collection still?
That's what it seems like in some places, but like Fisk Comics had Joe Rubenstein, and then they had like a whole long tables filled with like dollar books, 50-cent books. You know what I mean? They didn't even bring any real fire unless they sold it before the show started. But like for the most part, it didn't look like it looked like they were just moving product, and they were filled. Like everyone was digging through, they're pulling stuff out. And then you had your, again, like you said, the guys that are showing off what their collection is and stuff like that. And they had some good stuff there.
I mean, there's always good stuff. I want to say that the best stuff that I saw was still at that little show in Santa Ana.
Mm-hmm. Well, the difference, I think, a lot of the times, yeah, on some places they were coming down, because even on Sunday for a lot of us, we just started chopping prices. I had a running joke in my booth where I was showing people my hand. I was like, you see this thing right here? If you don't like the price, this hand's gonna chop that sumbitch in half for you. You tell me. If these guys don't give you a good price. Yeah, I was just like, I was pulling out all the stops trying to get everyone going, and everyone was having fun and stuff. But I still think, again, comics are, if you look at what we need in life, a roof, water, air, like comics are down here. As much as I love comics and toys and stuff like that, so people are going to pay these
Yeah,
things
when times
first.
are tough,
Right,
they're the
exactly.
first thing to go.
And then I gave deals. I give deals to people like if they're reasonable, like a reasonable deal. I go, you know what? Yeah, I'm into it. X amount. They're still getting a deal. Why not, dude? I don't mind that. But when you come to me and I have a $700, like we have, what I forget what Iron Man it is, but it's a CGC 90. Like the last one sold for like $3,000, and he had it at the $1,200, and he was like, "I'll give you 500." I'm like, "Dude, come on, man! Like, it's at least a 8. You know what I mean? There's something to work with there. It's somewhere where everyone gets a deal and shit. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's tough, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's waiting for. Yeah, I don't know. So I know Josh has got a con coming up next weekend. What's the deal with that con, Josh? Again?
It's a Star Wars centric convention that's taking place here in town, and I think it's going to be mostly like Star Wars collectibles and toys and comics and things like that. But they do have a couple of headliners coming in. I know that the voice cast for Rebels is going to be there. The guy who played the Emperor, Ian McDiarmid, will be there.
Oh, really?
And I don't know why, but for some reason, Jesse the Body Ventura is supposed to be there. So,
okay, wait.
Painless?
You don't know why? You don't know why? Because
No.
he's Jesse the fucking Body Ventura. You
Yeah,
ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah, Predator is not a Star Wars movie, so I'm not sure
Hey,
why
he was the governor, and
Look, I
the
like
voice.
I like Jesse the Body. If I can get in to shake his hand, that'll be good enough. But honestly, given my my current love for Star Wars, I'm going and trying not to get pissed. And I suppose that's going to depend a lot on how much Mace Windu or Kylo Ren I'm going to be seeing around that place.
You'll see a lot, dude.
I think that Mace
sure
Windu would have came off better if they would have let Sam Jackson drop a couple motherfuckers in there.
Yeah, I mean Star Wars was already broken by that point. Why not, right?
I heard a great Sam Jackson story the other day. I forgot what actor it was, but he said it was like him, Sam Jackson, and their wives, and they were going to like a boat party or something. And this guy sees Sam Jackson, and he realizes who it is, and he goes, "Hey, Sam, let's take a picture." And he said, Sam Jackson turns around and goes, "What's the magic word, motherfucker?" And he's like, everyone stood still, like as if this guy was gonna die. And like, I was so happy. He goes, "Well, can I? What's the magic word, motherfucker? Please." Okay, then just all you got to say. And he took a picture with him and shit. I wish I could say motherfucker like that guy does, dude, where it just will stop somebody in their tracks. Like, oh, what?
Yeah, he's definitely.
I remember the first time I saw him. It was on that I can remember. It was he was on Delirious at the beginning when Eddie Murphy's being a kid telling his joke about climbing up a tree and pooping on everybody. He's laughing. That boy's got talent. Ah!
My first time I ever saw him was in True Romance, dude. That's like one of my all-time favorite movies. And like he has a cameo in it. It's like a real small part, but he comes in the room and Gary Oldman's the Jamaican, pimp and stuff like that. And he's fucking sitting there. They're eating Chinese food and fucking he's like, "You eat the asshole?" And he's like, "Oh man, in Sam Jackson way he does. Oh, I eat every goddamn thing. I eat the asshole, the pussy, all that shit, dude." And then he dies like real quick and fucking. But I always remembered that character, just the way he says it. I'm like, that's smooth as fuck, dude. I like that guy. And then from then on, he was in every Tarantino movie and shit.
Yeah, I think the first time I remember seeing Samuel Jackson was in Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's right. He was in that. I forget that.
He's a computer technician that tries to take over after Fat Boy Dennis Nedry sabotages the whole thing. Ends up getting eaten by velociraptors.
I forgot about that. I always forget he's in that movie, dude. He's in everything, dude. Like I love that about him. Like he's just like, I'll do it. I never did it before. Like they did an interview with him. That's kind of how Snakes on the Plane got made. Was they were like talking to him, and he goes, "If I've never played the character before, like anything like it, I'll do it. Like I don't care if it's a big movie, small movie, whatever it is. If I've never played that character, fuck it, why not, dude? Like let's do it." And so someone came up.
Look who it is.
What's up?
Hey,
What's up?
Sleeping Beauty. It's Sleeping Beauty. I told them part of the story. Tell them from your point of view of what happened in the car and why you went Mimi's.
What are you talking about? I don't have. I don't even know what the heck
I have
about.
witnesses. I have witnesses, dude. I have witnesses.
Of
Tell your
what?
side of the story.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Saturday night, baby.
Oh, Saturday night. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll see
Vintage Sanchez?
Huh?
Vintage Sanchez is what they're saying?
No, us real men were drinking a lot of shots and
motherfucker.
And we were not drinking Bud Light like some fucking fuzz.
Oh, I had the shots with you. I just drank Bud Light with
Nathan. Nate, I sent you a email. She sent an invite to someone. I won't say the name yet until you see it.
Okay.
Anyways, it's on your messenger right now. He's waiting for the invite. So back to the story. So yeah, us men were taking double shots of Patron and tequila and double Jack and Cokes. I think we're on my 10-1, my 10th drink.
This
and
his math is as good as his fucking remembering.
We were not drinking Bud Light.
This guy
Fuzzy over here. And so by the time everybody left, right? Because it was us four. It was Fuzzy, me, Nando, and what's his name? Dave. And Fuzzy left, and we kept drinking. And then Dave was really gone, so he said, "I'm going up." Mind you, it's not even midnight yet. It was like 11:30. Everybody was tore up already. The other two guys that were hanging out with us, they left, and they drove to Morongo or something, gamble, but they were tore up too. And then Nando and Dave leave. And I was finishing up my drink. So I said, you know what? I'll get a room. And I was like, I'll just get a room right now. So I walked to the front desk and I asked the nice lady, I asked her, hey, do you have a room open for a drunk person? And she said, oh, no, we're sold out.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, well, I guess I drive home. And so I was like,
no.
So I'm like, oh, I'm going. So I walked to my car, and then the air must have hit me. And so when I got into my car, I just sat down in my car, and next thing I know, I woke up at 6:30 in the morning inside my car. I didn't drive anywhere. I was still in the parking lot, and I must have unconsciously just got my keys and threw them on the floor. So just in case, I was like, I got no keys on me. So I woke up around 6:30, went back to sleep. Around 7:30, I called Nando and to use the shower. So for the room, so I went to go use the shower, and then hung over all day. The next day with the guys, all hung over. But it was fun, though. Had a good time. Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, and we have a cameo, huh? This is a first-time appearance. Beast Boy's here.
Oh, my man.
I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, we're talking about amazing. We're talking about Steve's amazing show.
You gotta mute your background.
Yeah, Mr. Nando Night was.
I don't know
dying.
nothing.
Mr. Nando
Oh,
Night
my.
was dying the next day too.
Nando lost his voice.
Yeah, he did.
He sounded like one of those 1-900 operators halfway through the day on Saturday. He was like, Fuzzy, you want to go have a drink? And I was like, oh, Nando, you're giving me a boner. Don't do that.
I'm gonna make him an offer. He can't refuse.
I was like, oh, shit. Look out, dude.
It was a good con, though. I have to say, every year, Ontario Comic Con gets better
it up.
and better. Like,
It was fun.
it was fun. I mean, Saturday, it was. I in my opinion, I think they oversold tickets because it was hella packed. I've never seen it that packed before in my life. And
Saturday wasn't bad.
it was it was pretty packed.
Saturday wasn't bad though.
Especially in the backside. Oh, it was pretty gone. But the good thing is I saw a lot of families. There's a lot of families with kids.
But the Avatar line, dude, like literally, like, so the Rufio was there, right? And he's a voice actor in Avatar. His line was huge, like monstrous. Like almost everyone was there for him. And
No, they were there for Zach.
for Zach?
The voice of Aang. It was his second show ever.
Yeah.
Oh, well, whoever, I swear it was Root. Okay, so these guys would know. I wasn't over there that much. But when they shut the con down at 6 o'clock on Saturday, there was still a huge line of people waiting because the guy showed up late. So he stayed behind another hour and a half just signing fucking autographs for people and shit like that because I guess they prepaid. Yeah, it's like, it's cool of the guy. Like, it was a good show all around. Like, and then Sasha Banks, before she hurt she hurt her ankle in the show last night. Right, she left the con early to go to the show, and she went and fought and busted her ankle.
Pretty bad too. She busted it really bad. So
Like,
she would be out for months.
I know.
At
And
the
Greg,
con?
no, at a
he left the
wrestling
con
show.
because there was a New Japan show. So she had to go wrestle, literally right after the show.
And so she left there, and Greg had met her before the show started, like they talked, and she was gonna come over to the booth, but she had to leave. Like her photo ops took longer than they thought, and so she just bounced out.
Yeah, she went to wrestle and she got hurt wrestling. But
wrestling's amazing.
It was a great show. I mean, Chris Claremont, that guy, legend. Will Portas, I haven't seen Wilson since pre-COVID. Dude was cool as hell. Him and his wife, of course, Kenneth Rockefeller.
Wallace Portasio, he did a Hell Destroyer came by my booth, and he had an Aquaman, just a regular Aquaman book, and he goes, I'm going to Portasio to get him to fucking do me a Silver Surfer. And so he gave it to him, he dropped it off, and he goes back to pick it up at the end of the show, and fucking he drew Bishop on the bottom, and he just looked at Portasio and he goes, this is Silver Surfer? And he goes, oh man, dude, I'm so sorry. He goes, come back in 20 minutes, dude. And he fucking came back and he got 2 sketches for half price.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good guy, dude, right there. Like, I was like, hey, that's cool, dude.
We also had a bunch of locals, the usuals. Norm was there. Picked up a $50 Norm page.
Oh, he brought the $50 pages back?
Yeah.
He did, and I found a Beast Boy. I was happy.
Oh,
And that was
nice.
Hell Destroyer got something from Norm, and he was like, he came to me, he goes, you ever heard of this guy named Ratman? I was like, oh yeah, I know Norm, dude. He's a good artist. He goes, yeah, I got something done by him too, but he didn't show me what he got.
Dude, I didn't know. I didn't know Danny Mickey was doing $50 sketches.
Mm-hmm.
If I would have known, I would have gone 1 or 2 of them.
But he left kind of early too on Saturday. I don't know about Sunday.
No, he was there all day Sunday. He was doing $50 sketches.
Because
All
I
day
walked by
Sunday.
and someone else was sitting in a spot. And I'm like,
No, he was there all day Sunday.
He was right next to me the whole show.
Yeah.
So I saw, and he came and hung out in the booth for a little while. So I was telling him, I'll give you a deal, man. He's like, nah, I can't bring toys home. I was like, man.
He already has so many old school toys at his house.
Norm's got toys in storage too.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, like I said, it's a great a great local con. Way better than Long Beach.
It seems
Yeah,
like
Long
Long
Beach
Beach is devolved, whereas Ontario's like evolving.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, the brains of the operation was the guy from Ontario. That's why they left Long Beach.
Ah.
Yeah, those guys were with Long Beach before. Then they got in an argument and they separated. So they made their own con.
Oh.
So that's why you
Sanchez
see.
got the dirt, huh?
So that's why you see the majority of good name writers and artists going towards Ontario.
yeah, they don't.
You see more
Not really.
cosplayers and
It used to be happening at Long Beach. They used to
Yeah.
have all of them going
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
There were at least a couple good guests from elsewhere, and usually one really strong media guest at least.
I know. I brought him, Greg the Hammer Valentine. You're welcome.
Yeah, sure. If you're into that wrestling or whatever that is,
Hey, kick him off. Hit the button.
from like 1,000 years ago.
Hey, don't talk about my BFF that way, okay, dude? Me and him are BFFs.
His partner,
Yeah,
though.
the hammer that got drunk at the old spaghetti factory.
No,
yeah.
he tells me, he goes, I think this guy was trying to kidnap me for a little bit there because he kept taking me to all these weird places. I was like, Greg, I just want to live in your life just for a little bit, just like 3 days. I just want to see what it's like, dude. That's why the whole idea of us shooting a little like documentary about what he goes through and shit, because all the stories he tells me, I'm like, what the fuck?
How far is he coming from to do this stuff?
Vegas.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, no, and he technically got sponsored by this guy. He does a lot of sports memorabilia and stuff like that. So the guy paid, or I don't know if he paid for it or what, but I don't think Greg paid for it. But he flew him out here and everything, and he came to our booth. And I don't charge. Yeah, and he's my friend. I don't charge him for the booth, so I just tell him. That's why I'm always like, you could always be at my table. I don't mind it because he's a cool cat. Same thing with Lego. Every Lego knows every show. Just put your stuff on my table. Don't worry about it. Whatever you make is whatever you make.
All right, guys.
The only one we don't allow is Sanchez because all he does is fucking sleep, and he won't let me charge for taking pictures
And
of him
I make
sleeping.
money, so that's
Shut
I make
the
more
fuck
money
up.
of all of you. So that's
This
why
motherfucker.
the jealousy is real.
This guy. James is my witness. Beast Boy, tell him the truth. How much that we call him Sleeping Beauty, don't we?
Hey, even when I sleep, I make money, baby. Don't worry about it.
This motherfucker, dude.
Yeah. That's a sad news right there, Ray Stevenson.
Hey, who did he play in Thor?
The Viking guy.
Oh, that's right. He's
Yeah.
Volstagg, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I think he was one of the best Punishers. Fucking, that was like.
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie.
That's Bradstreet Punisher right there, dude. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like the Tim Bradstreet drawings. That's exactly the. I was like, oh, dude, that looks just like it, dude. That's some scary shit.
Yeah, the last movie that I saw him in was RRR. He was the British colonial guy that was running the show.
Oh,
That's
he
right.
was. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
And they don't
I
even
remember him
mention that in there.
from Rome. Was it Rome? I think, right? Rome. He came in Rome or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
That
was
was
a
his
great
big
show.
claim to fame.
That was a good ass show.
The Punisher killed his career, so that's the sad part. I love that movie. But I always remember him from the other guys because he's the henchman that's always getting them and making them like takes his gun away and stuff and fucking takes their clothes and shit and leaves them in Vegas.
Yeah, Volstagg. Punisher Warzone.
He wasn't even that old.
He was 58.
Yeah.
What did they say? What he died of?
No, they don't know yet.
Doesn't. I've probably hashtag died suddenly.
They haven't done the autopsy yet.
That sucks, dude. But hey, it goes to show you, man, dude. It's any time. And you know, you gotta. What was the pie movie we were talking about? You gotta live each day. Or PY or whatever, PX, whatever
PK.
the one, the Indian one. PK. Yeah, see, I knew I had one of the letters right. But yeah, that, you know, that's it. You can't take any day for granted. So fucking Sanchez, go to the doctor so you can make sure you can breathe okay when you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
Oh,
saw
do.
I'm breathing good.
No, you're not.
I saw Stevenson in a low budget film. I think it was called Cold Skin, where he's like a lighthouse keeper in Antarctica or something like that, and like his replacement comes, but he's like gone crazy because there are these fish people that come up out of the water.
Like monsters, right?
Yeah. But it turns out he's banging one of them, and yeah, it's a real weird movie, but it's pretty cool. And he's like a
Sounds
psycho
fantastic.
barbarian in that.
I want to. What is it called again?
I think it's called Cold Skin, something like that. If you look him up on IMDb, you'll see it. It's a fairly recent flick. I think I saw it on the Sci-Fi Network like a year, maybe 2 years ago. But something else.
Sci-Fi Network. That's all you had to say, dude. You say Sci-Fi Network and movie, I'm in, dude. Like that's that. I swear that writing room is a bunch of stoners just going like, you know, it'd be awesome if there was this tornado full of sharks.
He was good in it. It was really I didn't expect to like it. You know, a lot of stuff on sci-fi, you're like, I guess I got an hour to kill, you know. But but it was pretty good. Yeah, there it is.
This very reason, we shall never be truly close to those we love.
There's your island.
We set sail 67 days ago, September 1914.
No birds. No weather official to greet you either.
In this remote part of the world, I feel a sense of irreparable loss.
Maritime signal technician. We are replacing the weather official. Can you tell me if
Is
he's
it
whereabouts?
suspense or what is this?
He's dead?
It's like, yeah,
I would have to live in a solitude-like exile for 12 months.
Remember, it's the still and silent sea that drowns a man.
One thing I still can't understand is that you could have escaped 4 days ago on the boat that brought me here to work.
Here, I'm master of my own destiny.
I can't tell whether it arises from a longing for civilization, a prisoner's panic, or simply fear.
Should have stayed on the boat.
The previous weather official wasn't typhus.
Crazy. I don't want to get I don't want to get the show flagged.
Yeah,
But,
it looks crazy.
I'm down.
it's a good
That don't
movie.
look like a sci-fi movie.
You know, that's the thing, is it was much higher quality than I would have expected for that channel. But
I saw that. It was good. And he had one of them captured, and then the other ones were just trying to come and free her.
yeah.
So he was raping the fish. Let's watch it, dude. I can't wait.
It's
Oh, shit.
Definitely better than that Shyamalan one. What was that?
Anything's better than Shyamalan. So, fucking.
Or no, what was that? What was
Sixth Sense?
What was the one that recently won the Oscar, where there was like it was like a Creature of the Black Lagoon, but they were like boning that one too.
Oh, I like that one. Hold on. The Shape of Water.
The Shape of Water. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one was better.
Oh, I like The Shape of Water.
I'll bet you do.
Hey, any scene where a girl's banging herself and they're narrating, dude, through it, could win the points in my book, dude. I'll tell you that. Even if it is to a fish. Everybody gotta get theirs.
Cold Skin is more disturbing. I mean, yeah. Anyway, watch it. It's good.
It's pretty bothersome. But I wonder what happened to him.
I don't know.
You mean Stevenson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we could trust the medical profession to be honest with their disclosures, maybe we could wait and find out. But I doubt that we're going to get anything straight.
Yeah, it's rough. Especially all the people. I mean, he's young, 58. 58's like 30 years ago.
I mean, needless to say, I liked everything I saw him in. He's a good actor, and it's too bad that he's gone.
Always a tragedy when the young die. I wouldn't go as far as to say he's young, but he was too young to die for sure.
Well, he's within a decade of both of us, so that's pretty young in my book.
Right? All right, what else do we got going on? We talked about the Fast and the Furious, and
I missed it.
No, go ahead, James. Tell him. See, James is the man that hates all the Fast and Furious. He's hated them. So
we can go back around to it. Seems like Fuzzy's starting to get on your team with the whole hate of Fast and Furious now.
Crazy.
Left a bad taste in his mouth and his beard.
Yeah, I mean, that's what that series does. That's what it's there for. It's popcorn with butter on it, which can be good, right? Except they don't stop putting butter on it until you just have a tub full of butter-like substance with these little tiny withered, wet, gross kernels.
Give me that butter.
I couldn't defend this movie. I tried, but
this movie was so good.
Right? It starts showing Fast 4.
Yep.
The final action scene in Fast 4, that's what it shows you right at the beginning of the movie, just so they can place the characters they need in there and give you some background in case Fast 10 is your first stupid Fast movie. And watching it, that was the last Fast and the Furious where I was like, okay, because that was a neat scene. But I think I have rose-tinted goggles for the past because because it just didn't hit the same.
Call it the Goonies effect. It has a name.
The Goonies effect.
Yeah, like when you were there and you were a kid and you watched the Goonies, you like it, you love it, it's amazing, and you bring somebody now to watch the Goonies and they're just like,
"Yeah,
you're an idiot. Why do you like this?"
I don't agree with that being a Goonies effect, but I definitely experienced it when we went back and watched Transformers the movie. That was a rough ride.
When I went back and watched Transformers the series several years ago, I couldn't get past 3 episodes because of how stupid it was.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was a kid, I'm like, this thing is awesome. But yeah, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But
I'm with you. I tried to watch a couple of years back. I tried to watch the old Dungeons and Dragons animated series from back in the early 80s. And that was damn near unwatchable, man. It was so rough.
Yeah, most 80s cartoons are pretty much that.
Not Robotech.
That's true. Robotech.
Robotech's still good, buddy. Sorry, nope.
Yeah.
Hey, on your thing, bro. Robotech.
You guys don't know.
There's 2 things.
That's watch Silverhawks.
there's two
Wings
things.
of
That's
Silver?
anime,
Nerves of Steel,
Silverhawk.
partly metal.
but also
That's
I
right.
couldn't get past Min May singing like every episode.
Yeah.
Don't mess around
Same
with Big
song?
Ray, okay?
Yeah, and it was like the voice acting was so bad at the time that
Hey, whoa,
her singing was
You're about to get kicked out of the
terrible.
fucking place right now. Talking shit about Big Ray.
You know what? She
Anyway, back to attacking.
Here's a
Fat Guys.
cartoon. Here's a cartoon, though. You want to see a cartoon that stood the test of time? It's still good.
Already.
I'm afraid of what you're gonna say.
Brace.
Jose.
Hold.
Brace yourself. What?
Give me G.I. Joe.
There's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe.
Have you rewatched the show?
Yeah, I watch them all the
Cartoon? Have
time.
you rewatched the cartoon?
I watch them all the time.
They're not
Can't
that
watch.
good.
You can't watch all of them, but there's some
They're
good
not
ones in there,
good.
dude. There's some good sci-fi in there. They have there's no place like Springfield is good. They have one that's like a Days of Future Past where the G.I. Joes go into an alternate reality. There's some good ones. Now there's a level of disbelief you have to suspend in it, but it still holds up.
Given, but yeah. So I was
Thundercats
sailing.
does not hold up. Thundercats, John, does not hold up. I tried watching that.
The
That's
remake,
one of
the
them
2011 Thundercats,
No,
I never watched it.
it was
That
good.
was pretty good.
The original was bad.
Sitting through that beginning sequence. Okay, they gave Momoa his Black Mantis background, or Black Manta. Sorry, not Mantis. Black Manta background, and gave him the reason to be hunting Dom and his family the whole time. But all of the action was, of course, ridiculously over the top. Friggin' chasing that ball bomb through through Rome, and like Steve can tell you, I got pissed off right there. Chasing the thing down the bridge, jumps this fucking car into the crane to baseball bat that ball into the river, and I threw my fucking hat on the floor. It's like fucking stupid. My friend.
And I was laughing, having a great time.
Yeah, I had some idiot next to me giggling like the whole time.
I was like, I was great. And then I'm looking at James. Oh, man. Takis.
I will give Steve this. Yes, sometimes it is really fun to bring a friend to a really shitty movie and watch their reaction, because as pissed off as I was at this stupid movie, I know that feeling because I went to watch X-Men Apocalypse with Steve, and Steve was writhing the whole fucking time because that movie was just atrocious. So my entertainment was, watching the bad shit on the screen and then turning to Steve and like, look what they did to Apocalypse.
That was a horrible movie.
That's what
Steve
they
had
did
his
to the
arms
fucking
crossed.
Fast and the Furious.
Steve had his arms crossed for that movie, and I swear the temperature in the theater raised a couple degrees just for that.
I was fuming, bro. That whole movie was so bad.
So, all right, in Fast and the Furious, just nonstop. Okay, there was some stop, but like the action was ridiculous. The family interactions were mostly ridiculous. It was cut down because the last movie was kind of like their Avengers, where they got everyone together, and this movie is kind of like their Infinity War, sort of, where it's like a big, one guy is stopping them and killing them all, and then all of them will, of course, come back in the next movie, just like Endgame. In case anyone hasn't seen it yet.
Did the cars travel through time and
that's the next step. I'm telling you, they've been to space. The next one, I told Steve, the next plausible step is time travel, because that's how ridiculous these movies are getting.
Well,
we're gonna get back in time and save Brian somehow.
Yeah, Fuzzy said that they brought Gal Gadot back.
That's the one part I was pissed.
And the thing is like if they're bringing her back, I go next is Brian for sure.
Now,
I was pissed because I was like, okay, we saw her die in Rio de Janeiro, and like, I
No,
mean,
we
literally,
didn't. We saw her go into
go-
the darkness.
yeah,
That's it. She just goes in the dark. She
Bro,
never. You don't see the dead body.
She's a regular human, fragile girl, and
not in this universe. Because you could lift the car with one hand and shoot the machine gun with this one. Because why, ladies
that was
and gentlemen?
beautiful.
Family.
That was or when Momoa says, "You hit me with the helicopter." I was like,
But no, again, Momoa's on another level on this movie. Like,
oh, he was great.
He's the reason why you see the movie.
He was completely wasted in this movie. His acting and that character type that he did was so good. I would have loved to have seen it in almost anything else. Because it was interesting.
Anything else?
Yeah, it was. He was really good. Like there's a sequence where he's talking to dead bodies and just like playing this, and you're like, this guy's fucking nuts, dude.
And,
like, what the hell?
And he was completely like flamboyant and exaggerating everything. It was not what I was expecting at all when I went into the theater, and it was a pleasant surprise at like how good he was and like all of the different choices that he was making.
I heard some people were comparing his portrayal, because I haven't seen it yet. I know
to the Joker.
Liz love it, but yeah, they compared it to the Joker, but also to Jack Sparrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
that's leaning towards the flamboyant side. Yeah, I mean, there's a scene where he gets out of the car.
Joker.
Yeah, with the pirate out or the genie outfit, dude.
Yeah, he's wearing his costume. He looks like the genie from Aladdin, except purple. It was fantastic. It's just like,
and it's that race scene.
So,
and his fingernails are all painted different colors and shit, dude. And he's just
I had a couple lines that I have like the worst lines in the movie. I hated so much, and I had my favorite lines in the movie were by a cameo. None of the lines delivered by any of the main characters were good, but the cameo was phenomenal. So, worst lines in the movie. There's a scene where Brie Larson meets Michelle Rodriguez in the prison where she's being held, the prison of the agency, and they're like, she tells her she's gonna get her out. She's got a plan, and Michelle is like, yeah, I know, game recognized game, and it's like, what the like, her delivery was atrocious. It was flat, it was dead, and like that phrase is like early 2000s. Let it go, get it out of here. But that
they're gonna start saying
that and the other thing. The other line also was tied with this one, but this line wins because whenever I think about it, I get angry. It makes me mad. Near the end of the movie, Momoa is talking to Dom, and Dom says, "You made one mistake. You didn't take my car." And it's like, God, shut the fuck up.
That's one of the best parts until it catches on fire, dude. That's what I said.
And of course, fire acts like water flowing downhill and, whatever. The best lines in the movie. They're fighting in an old internet cafe run by Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson's character, he's their gateway to the black market. And it was such a shitty cameo, but you had Roman and who's the other guy? What was the other guy's name? Steve, you know this guy.
Han.
No, not Han.
Roman Han.
Han was taking drugs.
And
I don't know, the
Tyrese.
smart. Yeah. So they get into a fight because Roman is trying to be leader, but not doing it very well. So they start, fighting. It's not a very good fight. It's one of the weakest fights in the movie, actually, action-wise. But Pete Davidson is in the background. You don't even see him on camera anymore. You see them fighting, and he's like, "Stop! Hey, you're causing dozens of dollars in damages." And I think you got the coffee maker to work.
Yeah, that was what you made like he hit the printer. He hits the printer. He goes, "You made the printer work. That thing hasn't worked since 1986."
It was great, but just the cameo. So overall, this movie was just
a 9 out of 10, baby. 9 out of 10.
Okay, we're gonna bury that one.
Out of 10.
That's what he said about She-Hulk too. So there's
bullshit. Bring back any of the videos, and that's lies.
Just watch the reviews, people. Watch
the
reviews.
One where he was sleeping. They can bring that one. All right.
Well, thanks for letting me go back.
No, you're good. You're good, brother. Thanks for coming on. All right, we got a segue here. We're gonna go check out Rotten Tomatoes. Indiana Jones.
Got my ticket.
In the rape of childhood. All right. Although there's a nostalgic rush in seeing Harrison Ford back in action, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is largely unnecessary franchise finale. Read critic reviews.
No duh.
A more or less orthopedic chain of vibrant action set pieces. Full review in Spanish. Okay. I'll get Sanchez control later. Let's see. An adventure that, despite stripping itself of a fan service air, feels simulated and forced. Full review in Spanish. This is not my Indiana Jones. It's a disappointing facsimile of the much better Indiana Jones films that preceded it.
Like Crystal
What's vexing? That's what they're saying. They're saying that it's going to have the effect like the sequels had on the prequels with Star Wars.
Right.
What's vexing? It's like you want to go after you watch this. You want to go watch the Crystal Skull to cleanse your palate or whatever. I saw that one somewhere. What's vexing is the nagging feeling that there's a much better Indiana Jones film buried in there somewhere, but it would require a feat of archaeology or at least rewrite of some judicious editing to excavate it.
What's funny is that when you talk about a rewrite or a judicious editing, the fact is that this film underwent like tons and tons and tons of reshoots in order to try and fix the problems, and I think it was just it was beyond fixing, and that's because they were intending to wreck Indy the entire time, and when it had bad reviews with the early review process, the test audiences, they had to go back and try to repair the damage, but too much damage had been done.
I'm still going to see it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. I'm going to wait till it comes out for free, and I'm going to wait till I don't know, 6 weeks after it's out for free. I don't want it to elevate. I don't want my view to count towards anybody thinking that I want it to be.
Well, here's the thing. I enjoyed Crystal Skull. It was a bad movie, but I enjoyed it.
What?
Yeah, one of the things that a lot of people that, yes, the special effects were terrible. Yes, Mutt was dumb as shit. But the thing that got a lot of people was the alien ending. Like, Indiana Jones has always been, religious artifacts, magical, mostly religious, but magical religious artifacts. And suddenly we're throwing aliens into the mix and psychic powers. A lot of people didn't like that, but I hadn't watched the movie right away, and everyone bitched about it, so I knew it was coming, and I'm like, okay, I'll take it. So I enjoyed it. Wasn't a good movie by any stretch of the imagination.
Well,
But
it's a lot like the Star Wars prequels. You know, there are points in the movie where you can get a real Indiana Jones vibe off of it.
It still felt like an Indiana Jones movie.
Sure.
yeah.
I don't know that we're going to get the same thing with this new one. And if the normie critics are already taking a fat dump on it, I just can't imagine that it's going to be any good. It's not done by Lucas or Spielberg, so you completely divorced it from them. It's got everything.
But you hit the only thing I think is gonna hurt it is that none of them are involved in it. It's just like as much as everyone hates Michael Bay, Bad Boys is a Michael Bay looking movie. You know what I mean? The first two are like you could have that on in the background and someone will turn around and say, "Is that Transformers?" And they'll be like, "No." It goes, "Is that Bad Boys?" Yeah. Like there's literally he has a look to his movies. And then you see part 3 that was taken over by someone else, and you're like, "What the?" It just as much as it's the same characters, it's not the same movie. You're like, "What the fuck am I watching?"
And they tried to do some of the stuff that Michael Bay is known for, but it just doesn't come off the same.
Right, exactly, and that's what some of these scenes look like. Like that scene with the whip that I like. Like I like that scene where he takes the whip out and he whips it around. And everyone pulls out guns and shit. Like I like that. It's like a reverse on the Raiders of the Lost Ark, where the guy was flipping the sword around and then fucking just pulls the gun out and shoots. So
except they continue to shoot for like a minute after he ducks.
He's Indiana Jones, okay? He walked next to a rolling coin.
Oh, don't try to fuzzy explain this.
I'm gonna fuzzy explain it, dude. Look, okay? Like if I'm wrong, did I not come on here? Last week, go to last week's show, and I was praising Fast and the Furious. I was defending it. I saw James at the con. I looked him dead in his eye, and I went, "You were right, dude. I think they fucked this up, dude. Like I can't defend this movie anymore."
This one,
and that's what I'm saying. I can't. Like I was like Havoc, all gung ho about it, but this one, I'm like, you gotta be shitting me, dude. Like don't. And it's the ending. The ending did it for me. But Indiana Jones, I'm hoping they just give us a quick, hurrah of seeing Harrison Ford try to be a badass once again. Like this has got to be his last time doing anything like this, because didn't he get hurt a bunch of times on this set making this movie?
probably.
Yeah, I mean he's old enough that it probably walking around is dangerous.
Yeah,
they filmed it in '78. He had a plane crash too, not too long before this.
Yeah,
a couple of years ago. Yeah.
So I mean that's the part of it. Like, as much as I love Taken, right? Like as much as I love that movie, I hate that movie existed or came out, because all of a sudden everyone thought they could be an action star. You know what I mean? Like it didn't matter if you could run or not. They're like, we'll speed up the film a little bit or get a body.
I seen a Bob Odenkirk's an action star.
I hate it, and as much as I love Indiana Jones, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna. Until I see it, I'm gonna be so excited to see it, because I just want to hear the theme music. I want the whip to come out. You know what I mean? Like I want, if you give me my little things
I'll sing the song for you, and I'll pull my dick out.
Whoa! No, I said a whip, not a little rubber band. No. We want a whip. I want it to come out like that and shit. Now, Mr. Perfect over here, maybe, dude, but fucking,
Well, let's do some more for you, Fuzz. Fun isn't the most accurate way to describe its excessive antics. There's never a dull moment, but all the globe-trotting hullabaloo does verge on exhaustion.
It says hullabaloo.
It's pretty goofy and laborious over its 142-minute running time. A film that inherits the directing mantle from Steven Spielberg should know when to step up. It's about time executives realize that franchises can't be cleanly separated from the visions and talents of those who made them. The camera rarely creates meaning on its own, except when there's a familiar brown fedora somewhere on screen. At which point it changes towards it like a happy. It charges towards it like a happy pup reuniting with its owner. A shot that repeats on at least 4 separate occasions. There are needs being met here, but they aren't storytelling based so much as stroking the fan base and meeting the bottom line ones.
Yeah.
You know, as a fan base guy, I wouldn't mind being stroked.
Yeah, but I
See.
don't believe that that's what's taking place. I think that these are the shills that are trying to put the best kind of spin on it.
Well, I'm not. I'm reading the splats.
No, I know, but I think they're still giving it the best spin they can, which says something because it's still a splat.
There are so many chase sequences that the movie seems held together with slender bits of plot, rather than the other way around. Worse yet, they're so heavily CGI'd that they come off as grimly dutiful rather than thrilling or delightful.
Yeah.
The de-aging and other CGI manipulations of Ford's body only serve to demonstrate that the Dial of Destiny just wants to turn back the clock instead of doing anything new.
Like everything else that Disney does these days.
Well, that's always, and that's another thing like that I think is missing a lot. Like even in the Fast and Furious movie, like you watch a lot of the early stuff, and it's a real car driving down the street. Like yeah, there's a couple parts that are CG, like going in the engine or the close-ups of them in the car and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's really happening. Same thing with Indiana Jones, like like Last Crusade when he's on the fucking tank, you know what I mean, and he's fucking falling off, and he, that's really happening. It may not be Harrison Ford doing it, but that's a person on that fucking like you're going. I'm seeing this. How is this possible? Like as soon as that CG effect comes into play, your mind's going like, okay, I think this is real. Like like it doesn't compute well. So again, I just need the hat, which it says it rolls out every 5 minutes. So cool. I'm going to get the hat. I'm happy about that. You know what I'm saying? There's chases. Fuzzy loves chases. You know what I mean? Dude, that's how I got my wife. I chased her down. You know what I mean? Like it so far sounds like a Fuzzy movie.
Yeah, it sounds like crap.
Shut up! You like Fast and the Furious. You have no room to talk.
Thank you, and Aquaman. Thank you very much.
Don't try to jump ship right now.
I gave you the
shit.
finger and I fucking belly flopped the hell off that thing, dude. I didn't even do a swan dive off. I was just fucking like this off the top.
Yeah. From Indy, I'm kind of hoping for the same kind of thing as Super Mario, the Super Mario movie. There was not a lot to that movie. There was not. It hit all of the nostalgia strings perfectly. And that's what.
But there wasn't any real precedent to what they were doing with Mario. There isn't like a cinematic precedent to what they were doing in Mario. So it's kind of like.
Yeah, didn't you see this original Super Mario? That's a high fucking bar to try to pass, dude. Okay, Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, come on, dude. I mean, that's fucking A+ acting right there.
You remember
dude.
the Goombas?
Yeah, he was so bummed. Leguizamo was so bummed they didn't invite him back for the thing. He was trying to cancel it, trying to make it be racist. And
he's a bitter clinger, is what that guy is.
I just thought it was always. I remember being a kid watching that and go, he doesn't sound Italian. Like I kept trying to put that together. They were brothers and shit. I was like, huh.
Well, look, I don't want to rain on your parade, but I will. Indy is not going to be able to do what Mario did because of Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably going to take the lion's share of the center stage, kind of putting Indy in the background, and because the focus is going to be on her a lot, it's going to be annoying as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine, because the word on the street is that initially they were going to make her the new Indy. They were going to get rid of Harrison.
Which
in
the street
movie.
Is this?
Which
street is this word on?
This word is on the street that comes from Lord Doomcock himself. So my point being is that there were a lot of reshoots because the early testing didn't go well because of that. So they reconfigured the ending so that Indy's not gone. But the problem is that since most of the movie is focusing on her, you can't do that without redoing the whole movie, and they're not gonna Batwoman this crap. So we're gonna get some disjointed nonsense, and I think the reviews kind of bear that out. You have a string of chase scenes that are barely tied together with something resembling a plot, and it's just.
I just sat through that.
So
it better be better.
You know, she's the one who played the robot that Lando was boning
Right.
in Solo, and as annoying as she was in this film, we're actually going to get to see her live. So
It's a sad and safe ending for a series that once prided itself on big escapades and larger-than-life emotions. Dial of Destiny shows that some relics should just stay buried.
boom.
It's an improvement on the exacerbable crystal skull by James Execrable. Please excuse me. James Mangold's, like excrement.
Yeah,
Mangold's
shitty.
exhumation of the Spielberg adventure series is both tame and necessary and unnecessary. The jokes, the zest, and exuberance just aren't there. So instead of a joyous send-off for our beloved hero, we get a depressing reminder of how much livelier his past adventures were. This is a big, bombastic movie that goes through the motions but never finds much joy in the process. Despite John Williams' hard-working score continuously pushing our nostalgia buttons and trying to convince us we're on a wild ride.
Oh, see, there you go. That's another button they said that gets hit a lot. So good. There's a hat. There's music. You're selling the movie to me.
You're picking all the rice out of the maggot bowl.
We're going to chopsticks. A movie about a hat with music.
Dude, I'm telling you, I still get my hair stands up when I see that hat fall on the ground and you see the hand come out and dust it off and put it on it.
That used to be how it was at the beginning of the Star Wars movies when you had the 20th Century Fox opening and they had the long musical score rather than the usual stuff, and you're like, oh, here it comes. Now I hear that and I cringe because I know of the death that is coming.
Yesterday belongs to us, someone says at one point. And when it comes to Indiana Jones, yesterday always will. The problem is that it already did, and today feels like a complete waste of time.
Oof.
It ultimately feels like a counterfeit of priceless treasure. The shape and the gleam of it might be superficially convincing for a bit, but the shabbier craftsmanship gets all the more glaring the longer you look. Ouchie, ouchie.
Yeah, I mean, these are the pro critics, so you have to take all of that with a grain of salt. But my thing is that usually what these guys do is that they try to put excess shine on it, because they want to keep that access with Disney. So it's remarkable that they're giving it this kind of a bad review. And, which means that for some reason they're not worried about whether or not it's going to affect their continued access. So you have to ask, what's going on there, And I think maybe part of it is that Disney's, in a rough spot. So maybe they feel like they have enough of a position to kick them while they're down, because everything that Disney's doing right now seems to be on fire and burning. Nobody's looking forward to The Little Mermaid. The Galactic Star Cruiser closed down. Disney stock has taken a big fat dump. They lost their tax status with Florida. Peter Pan and Wendy is being panned into hell.
Shit! I forgot that was out.
I heard forever you couldn't get alcohol at Disneyland. Now they're going to have Bud Light.
Of course they are. What a mess! What a mess!
Mm-hmm. I think everyone. I'm telling you, everyone's kind of repositioning on it, about as far as movies go. That's why I think a lot of the slates that are coming out now are going to start being, again, we're going to go back to original stuff, or if it is somewhat of a franchise, it's going to be a franchise that no one knows about. So that's what I'm hoping for, dude. If they've learned their lesson, we're going to go back to, making actually good movies. Because I am a glass half full kind of guy.
They're back under Iger, who did all this damage in the first place.
Well, maybe he realized what he did.
Nope.
Why am I always the voice of reason, man?
No, you're not. You're the voice of ridiculous blind hope.
Yep.
That's where he wore that jersey.
Yeah,
that's not an S. It stands for hope.
That's the hope. That's right, dude. That's right. That's why I sport that shit like no one's business right there, dude. That's right. It's hope.
No.
I hope that we're gonna like just like the Superman movie is gonna be amazing. I can't wait for the Flash one. Every time I see Keaton say, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." My dick goes boop, like that, just a little bit. I haven't gotten
Michael
the full one
Keaton?
because oh yeah, dude, fucking that's one of my favorite lines. I used to quote that every day when I was a kid. You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
You know,
So I was
he probably doesn't even remember saying that in the original. I mean, it was such a throwaway scene. It was ridiculous. It was as un-Bruce Wayne a thing as you could do in a scene.
But that's why I loved it, because it was literally, because again, I seen it when I was a kid. I was 9 years old when I seen it. And then I clicked in my head. I was like, that's fucking Beetlejuice. Because he literally turned into Beetlejuice at that moment. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh shit, that's the same actor? Like, I mean, it did click.
My friends and I, we used to quote it all the time, but it was in mockery because it was so ridiculous. You know,
I love
it. And I don't believe without an apology from these companies to the fan base for what they've done, I just don't believe they're going to fix anything because they're not acknowledging that they've made any mistakes. What they want to do is sweep it under the rug. You know, I saw that they took Willow off of the Disney Plus streaming because nobody's freaking watching it and they can't afford to use up the bandwidth.
They're blocking my signal. We can't talk about Willow.
Uh-huh. But I mean,
that was so bad. Willow was so bad.
It was. It made Rings of Power look good, which is a feat in itself.
Right?
Yep. Stupid swords and sandals.
Yeah, I got all the way to the end on that show and was just waiting for something decent to happen. It was like,
right,
we're not going to do that.
It's one of those things where when you watch something that's that awful, you can see points where there's like potential, and they never do anything with it. Nothing.
Well, what did it run? 8 episodes?
Yeah.
I saw eight moments of potential every time it ended. It was like...
You're like, please.
Right? They got the brownies in there for what? 5 minutes?
2.5 seconds.
And then the brownies were horrible. They got like Nirvana posters and fucking it was horrible.
And I love Kevin Pollak. Like, he's one of my favorite actors, period. So I was like sad that they wasted him like that. Like, fuck, dude, you could have had some good shit with him.
Yeah, several times they made very modern references, and I'm just like, but why? Like, you can't come up with something that's world specific?
You know, I think that we have to come to the realization that the Walt Disney Company is creatively bankrupt, which is a weird thing to say, considering their long history of great successes and, you know, quality like classics and stuff like that. But man, I don't know where the turn happened, but at some point in the last decade, they've lost all ability to come up with new stuff. They've lost all ability. I mean, all they're doing is rehashing old things and destroying IPs as they go. It is the wildest thing to watch.
If especially because you give like, how many Lamborghinis do they got the keys to?
Yeah,
and they just keep fucking crashing them.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
You depend on the name. That's it. It's just the name. That's what they're buying is the name.
And it's why things like Andor are such outliers. You know, in the age that we're in, it's unexpected for something like that to be as good as it was, because everything else is really, at best, mediocre, and at worst, it's like an insult to watch it.
Yeah, that's rough. That's really rough. All right, so when do we got our next? When we got your next show going, Fuzz?
Sunday, I'm doing 626 with Nando.
66.
Yep, we're gonna be getting the booth there with Chauncey's and bringing books. I'm bringing just shit I'm getting rid of, and then Nando's bringing the fire. Hopefully, his good luck rubs off on me.
That never happens.
Because you always show up, and all of a sudden it brings everything down. Just fucking.
Yeah.
That's right, 626 con. But after that, after 626.
So aside from you guys doing it, I mean, that's in and of itself
That's
is
right,
worth
baby.
going to a convention just to see Fuzzy and Nando. But what else is going on at this X26 con?
A bunch of
Dustin-
artists and writers.
Yeah,
Sal
Dustin
Regla,
Nguyen's
Dustin
there.
Nguyen.
That's right, world's finest.
I forgot the whole list.
Not a huge list, but there's like 4 or 5 artists.
For a small con, it's pretty.
Yeah.
And it's free.
Good enough.
For a small free
free.
con.
Oh, it's free.
Yeah, free show.
What's it called?
All right, here we go. Joe
626 Comic-Con.
Benitez, Joe Benitez, Dustin Nguyen, Reich, Juan de Deon, the guy that does
I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up right now.
Sal Regla, and John Jean. And that guy does all those beautiful covers.
And from what I heard, everyone's bringing boxes to move, so there'll be good prices on comics and stuff. So
I just sent you a link,
I got it.
Nate, on your messenger.
I just Googled it. Let's
Well,
see,
this is
May 28th. John Gyong, Dustin
No, there's actually
Nguyen,
more
El Joe
people.
Benitez, Sal Regala, Juan Gideon, Reek. Is that right? R-E-I-Q?
Yeah.
John Livesay, Livio Ramondelli. Cosplay by people. Let's see.
Yeah, they only had what 6 people there last time.
mm-hmm.
So they're gonna have to put out a couple more tables there.
So you went to this before, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a booth there too.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So is this what's the size like in comparison to?
It's a library or community center.
The community center.
So is
like
it kind of
Yorba
like
Linda.
the Yorba Linda? Is it? How about
Early Yorba Linda.
that Brookhurst? The Near Mint Sundays.
Yeah,
It's like
about that
that.
size.
It's the same
Yeah.
size. But this one has artists.
Actual guests.
Yeah. Near Mint. It's only got my homies as guests. This is cool. This is out in Pasadena?
No, Rosemead.
Rosemead, okay.
It's right off the freeway.
Right off the 10th freeway in Rosemead Boulevard.
It's like right in front of the UFC gym right there.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst thing you do is, worst case, you just go there, poke around for free, and then bail if you don't like it. Like an early day.
How you not gonna like it? It's a good fucking con.
I mean, he
some
did
people don't
like
like
Fast and the Furious, so don't take his advice. Ladies and gentlemen. But
First of all, you say you like the Fast and Furious, so shut the hell up.
I did. No,
You
hey, I
said
never.
up to the last portion you loved the whole fucking movie, so shut up. Stop over here talking
And
nonsense.
it
Trying to act
ruined
cool and
it. It
everything.
ruined it. I said
Yeah.
it. It ruined it.
Yeah.
It ruined it. Ruined it.
Mhm.
Done. I don't care about his family no more, but I'm still gonna go see the next one.
Okay.
I'm-
Okay. So shut up.
I'm just saying.
Oh, my friend sent me
but
a-
it is a good
Send
one.
me a thing that said.
So you don't like their
Well,
policy,
the
but you're still going to vote for them.
Yes, because it says I have to.
While the main family is done, they're going to do spin-offs of a bunch of the different characters. And I'm like, oh, I'm not worried about that. The guy who drags me to these movies is not going to go to the female-led Fast and Furious movie. I'm safe on that one.
I'll go to that one, dude. Women
Hard
power.
pass.
The only one I'll go if Han still goes back to Tokyo. It'll be Fast and Furious Tokyo Part 2.
Sounds terrible.
Oh, it sounds fabulous.
We just watched the Han's origin story. Better luck tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting movie.
It's a good movie.
Oh fuck, that hurt.
But you have hope.
Oh, yes, I do. I have hope. I have hope that Indiana Jones is going to be good. I did have hope that Fast and Furious was going to be good. And then I do have hope that The Flash is going to be good.
So
Flash
you're
was
the
good.
problem. You're the problem.
I was going to
All
say,
this
these
hope is
Indian
ruining
movies,
these movies.
Fuzzy's worried the Indian movies are going to be bad, and they've all been good. He thinks all these movies that are going to be good are bad. Maybe all you got to do is make Fuzzy think that your movie's going to be shit for it to be successful.
I
He's
think
like,
what
or
Fuzzy
Indian.
needs to do is he needs to go into these movies thinking that they're going to be absolute dog shit, and when they're just slightly above dog shit, he'll be very happy with it.
he'll give it a
And
4
that's
to
what
4.
happens. And that's
It
what
does
happens
work.
a lot. Yeah, no, it does. It, like, again, Cocaine Bear was good, but it was like, I think I pumped it up so much that I was like disappointed. It wasn't as good
absolutely did.
like it was in my head. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I was literally preaching that movie to everyone. Everyone was calling me afterwards, like, "Hey, what'd you think?" I'm like, I mean, you know, the bear did cocaine, and you know, I was like, it was, but it wasn't what I wanted it to be. And then I'll go into these Indian movies, not seeing a trailer or anything, and like just like the last one we just watched, and I'm just like you guys figured out the ending, and again, Fuzzy always figures out the ending. This one I had no clue. I was like, what the fuck? They M. Night Shyamalan me correctly. Look at that. Like, this is awesome.
Correctly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was like, man, this is a really good twist. I was like, I dig it, dude. Like, okay. So, I mean, you know, the American, I get when I go see these movies, like Fast and the Furious, I knew what I'm getting into. And again, like Steve said, I did say, like, I was into it. And that ending just pissed me off to no end. And I don't care if I knew it was going to be it drove me crazy so much. I was like, and then when Godot comes out, I said, I'm done. Fuck it. I'm done with it. And there's literally a scene. You know what? Again, I'm going to spoil something else for you guys. If you don't want to hear, mute it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. John Cena sacrifices himself and dies. But because Gal Gadot got out, me and James.
He doesn't
busted
die.
James. Oh, dude, I swear, he sacrifices himself for the
He can't die, though. Nobody dies.
Dude, the car flipped upside down and it blew up. But he probably figured out.
He
like
flew
an
out and
ejection
rolled on the
button.
ground like Michelle
That's
Rodriguez.
what James said. That's what James said. And I was like, you know what? I believe it now. Fuck it, dude. You know what I mean? Because Gal Gadot's still alive. I mean, why the fuck not?
Like when Vin Diesel was lifting the car with one arm, the other arm was shielding John Cena.
You know, he was lifting it and shooting the machine gun, dude. And even then, I was like, "Oh God!"
Well, you only need one finger to shoot a machine gun. The other 4 fingers saved John Cena.
And then even the
Accurate.
the Jack Reacher appearance in the movie, I was like, he was just so big. Like, he's just so big. I'm like, he looks awkward. So like when he's walking around, he looks bigger than The Rock. I'm like, I want to get them two together and watch them fight and shit. Like, I just want to see that.
That
Like,
might
they just
happen.
look-
That might be more
Next
believable when they had The Rock and Vin Diesel face off, and then Vin Diesel, who was usually like the big buff muscle head, he gets next to The Rock and he looks like a little tiny dude.
Exactly, dude. Like, I'm like, I love that shit.
Now, if they're bringing in more people from everywhere for Fast and Endgame, I'm hoping they bring in Ryan Reynolds' character from
Yes.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh yeah. Like
That was fantastic. That was my favorite part of those stupid movies.
Or figure out a
Well,
way to bring
that
Gina
stupid
Carano
movie.
back.
Mhm. Or Kevin Hart.
They're gonna bring everybody back, dude. Just
Are they
watch.
going to
dude.
weekend
So-
at Bernie's Paul Walker around there?
The one thing
yeah.
I kept laughing at was like it felt like this one was like Triple X Part 5 that they just snuck into the Fast and
You know,
Furious
that's
franchise.
the thing. If there's a
Because-
Vince movie, if there's a fucking... Why can't I even think of his name now?
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. There's a fucking Vin Diesel movie I want to see more of. It was the fucking Pitch Black movies.
No, he's making another one because he owns the rights now to Riddick. So he's making another one supposedly. Because I love Riddick. I love all the Riddick movies.
Mhm.
But The Triple X ones, like the last, I forgot which one. Not they did the one with Ice Cube, which I was like, oh, this is fucking amazingly bad. I love it. And then they did the where he comes back,
Return of
just
the
like
Renegade.
there you go. And but at the end they give Ice Cube that little. It's like a cameo. You know, they shot like a month later in a fucking green screen room, and he just fires a rocket launcher, saves the day, and then they got Vin and him together to give a couple lines together, and it was like a day. Like they're like, okay, call it a day. So that's how I'm picturing Fast and Furious, like with Kevin Hart. They're gonna bring everyone in on like a random day and just be like, okay, shoot this scene real quick, and fucking shoot the scene, plug it into the movie. Now everyone's in the fucking movie. It's an all-star cast and shit. But I'm paying my money to go see it, so fuck it.
And that's the reason why they're making more.
Stop making sequels, and I won't. We'll go watch them. I told you, I watched.
You got it backwards. You got it backwards.
Stop watching them, and
they'll stop making them.
I told you, it's that special need in me that fucking like if there's like something.
I even got infected by your need, and I went to go fucking watch
So you're a retard.
the
then.
Affleck movie.
Oh, the Rodriguez.
Yeah.
The Rodriguez one, the Hypnotized or whatever. I still haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch Sisu this week.
You still haven't watched that?
No, dude, I was gonna watch it today, but I watched our Indian movie and Better Luck Tomorrow, and I was like tired as shit from yesterday, so I was like, I'm gonna take a nap. And I took a nap.
Yeah, the Indian movie is better than Sisu, or not Sisu, better than Hypnotized or
Hypnotic.
It felt like a bad Amazon Prime movie.
But like it's just like, okay, so Terms of Endearment fucking came out when I was a kid, and I watched it, and it was one of the ways they explained to me about
Beth
my
Williams.
Mom, how my mom died. Yeah, it just, all this shit, right? 10 years later, they make a movie called The Evening Star. And I go, what the hell is this? This is Juliette Lewis and Shirley MacLaine. And they just said it's a sequel to that one. And I went, well, why? All right, let's go. And I went and saw it. And I hated it and shit like that. And I knew I wasn't going to like it. But I just had to know what else happened in the thing. The Graduate, Dustin Hoffman, great movie. Fucking, an amazing thing. Then they make a movie with Jennifer Aniston called Rumor Has It, which is a sequel to The Graduate. And I said, fuck, all right, I'll go see it. And I went and saw it, hated it. I understand. I torture myself. I get it. But it's just this nervous tick in my head where I'm always like, it might be good. Like there might be something good that comes out.
They got Terms of Endearment 2 coming out.
It's already
Shelby's Revenge.
No, you're thinking of Steel Magnolias, dude. Steel Magnolias.
Steel Magnolias 2. Shelby's Revenge.
And I'd go see that. That's why, dude. If I didn't have that philosophy, I would have never saw Piranha 2. Okay, and let me tell you, Piranha 2 supersedes.
Piranha 3 was better.
No, I'm talking the new Piranha 2, not the old Piranha 2. The new Piranha 2, where the little piranha swims in the girls with JJ, and the guy's banging her because she has to lose her virginity before she dies, and it bites his dick, and he pulls it out, and he can't get it off. So what does he do? He cuts the head of his dick off. That happened in a movie, dude, in 3D.
Is that the one with Vern from Stand By Me in it?
No, it's got David Hasselhoff, and he's making fun of himself, dude. It's fucking amazing because they're opening a water park.
Are you sure that's not 3?
It's 2.
It's not the one where the dick's floating? The severed dick?
That's okay. So there's Piranha 3D, and then there's Piranha 3 Double D, and Double D is the one that where they're in the water park. That one's where they're on the lake. And again, I'm telling you, it's you literally.
No,
watch
I seen it.
movie.
I seen it. It's good.
Yeah, that and again, I wouldn't have watched it because the other ones were shit. But I'm like, you know what? It's got to get shittier.
Speaking
right?
of this type of movie, The Meg 2.
Yay!
Again, that was an okay movie, but why did we need a sequel? I don't know, but I'm going to see it. You know what I mean? Friday the 13th. We knew Jason could never die, but did we go every time? Hell yeah, we did. We want to see how those camp counselors die.
I was just telling Steve that I need another good Jason Statham movie, like The Transporter.
Yes.
And
number one.
We're getting Meg 2. That's not it. But
I think they
if
should
he,
be
if he jump
inclusive.
kicks the shark in the nose, I'm fine with that.
They should be inclusive and have it be the transporter. And Jason Statham just wears.
You're
lipstick.
reaching there.
I heard it.
Uh-oh. We'll just make talk with lullaby sounds. Relaxing. Calm. Oh, he muted it. Oh, fun times. All right, so is it Josh? Is it your movie next week?
I think it is.
Oh,
What do you got? Do you got anything in store for us?
I do. We're gonna give Fuzzy another wonderful movie to watch. It's gonna be that early '80s classic, Beastmaster, starring Mark Singer.
Oh, that's one of the ones I can watch. I do dig that movie. That's fine with me. That Swords and Sandals good. I love that one.
There you go.
But there you go. Here we go. So I love Beastmaster, but I love Beastmaster 2 even better, dude. When he travels through time and shit, that's my favorite fucking one. That's my favorite one.
Should have did Red Sonja.
That one's like a hit or miss for me. I don't remember it that much, Red Sonja, but I did watch because they have the Conan back on Netflix. So I was watching that the other day, and I was laughing to myself. I was like, "This was such a badass movie back in the day. What the fuck?"
Ernie Reyes Jr. Remember that show Sidekicks that they had, where he was a little kid who knew kung fu?
Oh yeah, dude. My favorite movie with Ernie is fucking Surf Ninjas. Him and Leslie Nielsen. That's the greatest fucking like B movie that Leslie Nielsen did, dude. I love that movie.
I'm gonna try to have Curry drop on Wednesday. And the Curry crowd, usually within like 2 hours of it dropping, there's like a 20 comments on it. And I'm sure we'll get another something from Amir Khan. I don't know. I'm kind of liking that aisle. I think that that Rocky, that was his first movie. That was like introducing Rocky. And his beard and cool hair.
The graces.
In KGF.
Yeah.
That beard.
Either way. That's the Indian Chuck Norris right there, dude. That guy. That beard is powerful.
I don't know. I'd like to see another movie with Ram Charan in it. See how he does. Because Triple R was something else, and if he's
is Triple R still your favorite?
Yeah, for sure. It's the only one of these movies so far that I've seen multiple times.
Okay.
There are some of these I want to go back and watch again, but RRR is the one that keeps winning out whenever I've got the free time. You know, it's like, oh, I should go watch one of these Indian films again. I'm like, which one am I got? RRR. Stop right there. That one.
Well, RRR has got the benefit of them being dubbed. So you can have it on and do shit and clean your house and, you know, like, oh, it's that scene. You can pay attention to it. Whereas the other ones, they're just, then fucking, you got to read and keep up with it.
I don't know, dude. I think the longer that we keep doing this, I think we're all going to end up speaking Hindi at the end, you know?
I wouldn't mind it.
That's how I learned Spanish.
I mean, half the time when people ask me questions and I have to give like an affirmative answer, I'm always going like,
and I call everyone buddy.
Yeah.
So.
Or sir.
Yeah, sir. Sorry, sir.
Sir.
It's like this ingrained politeness that they have. It's endearing.
Fine. Well, thanks for coming out, James.
Yeah.
Thanks for having.
Yes, thanks for coming and backing me up about Fast and Furious.
You still love this. Shut up.
But I'm
Hopefully,
just
I only
living
have to sit
proof.
through. Hopefully, I only have to sit through one more of them.
There's two
I
more
hope
left,
so, too.
actually.
Yeah,
That's-
I heard that this is supposed to be a trilogy.
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be, but it depends on how good this one, how well this one does.
This one
yeah.
did pretty good. This one did pretty good, actually. There's a Vin Diesel post and Instagram now showing that it did really good.
Well, there's still some hope.
So it's possible that it was bad.
No, it was
Yeah,
bad. But it's possible that it won't do well.
like, don't even use your free pass to go see it. Just wait, like you said, until it's free, and then fucking go watch it then.
That's brutal. So
And that's from
Beastmaster,
a
any idea where
fan.
that's playing, Josh? You guys
I
have
don't.
it on disc, huh?
Yeah, I don't. I don't even know if I have it on disc. I wish. Like, we haven't unpacked our DVDs yet, so I would have to dig to find out. But I can't imagine that it's not somewhere. At the very least, I'll bet you can watch it on YouTube. In fact, I think the last time I watched it on YouTube. So
That's always my favorite. We should do a segment where it's just YouTube movies, like movies that you can't find anywhere else but only on YouTube and shit.
I've been
there-
watching
there is
The Outer
movies like
Limits.
Looks like
Yeah.
the Beastmaster from '82 is
yeah,
on
Mark
Amazon
Singer.
on Prime. Okay.
Prime.
Mark Singer, that's good.
Does it have part 2? Because I have to watch part 2 right afterwards.
Prime.
I didn't pick part 2, Fuzzy.
But it doesn't matter. As soon as it ends, I'm gonna be like, put part 2 on. Let's do it again. There's a
Yeah, but
sequel.
it doesn't have Lord of the Rings ending, so it's not necessary.
Stupid Fast and the Furious. And I'm telling you, I'm saying it now, dude. So help me God, if Mission Impossible ends that way,
It's supposed to.
I understand it's a part 1, but again, I'm trying to explain what I'm trying to.
I get it.
there's a way to,
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
it's a suspense. They need to leave it like that. It's
no.
yes.
That means we cut.
It's
It's like, oops, we ran out of money.
to be continued. Like this happens to only once ever. Get out
The
of here.
only time I liked it that I was cool with it was Kill Bill. When Kill Bill 1 ended, like the way they ended it, you know what I mean? Like, because she gets vengeance on the girl, but you know there's going to be a sequel, Avengers, and the Infinity War and shit like that. Like, that's it. It ended.
So now you don't make sense at all.
It didn't leave on a cliffhanger where it just cuts to black. Like, that's what I'm saying. If they would have showed the thing blow up and then Dom and them get swept away and stuff, and then all of a sudden you see his hand come up, cool. Like, there you go. There's an ending right there. But they didn't.
There's no ending though. It's a trilogy. How is there an ending on a goddamn trilogy? It's just going straight to the next movie.
Do you call Star Wars, the original 3 Star Wars, a trilogy?
Not really, no.
Okay, well, see, of course,
No,
it works
well,
in your
no,
benefit.
it's-
But let me tell you, that's considered the trilogy. And guess what happens at the end of those movies? It doesn't cut to black
For
right
more,
away.
it's more
It
of a
gives an
standalone
ending.
movies for me, each one.
What about the Indiana Jones movies? Trilogy, no trilogy?
Trilogy.
No, because there's like 4 of them.
I know,
No.
but it was the
So it's not,
original trilogy.
it's not a trilogy then.
There's gonna be 5.
Actually, yeah.
But
It's a trilogy.
what I'm saying, but they all have an ending. The movie ends. There's a climax. There's an ending. You don't. The pussy way out of it is just going like, and then black. I'm telling you, that's the part that irks me to no end. Is that he literally just went.
You
and then
needed
cut to black.
some kind of a monicum of closure.
It's just a little bit. You could tell me it's coming back again. Like, I'm fine with that, dude. But don't just go. You got to wait another year and a half to find out what happens. It's like, I don't care anymore. I don't care.
You know,
I don't
Balu
fucking care.
Bali did that pretty fucking horribly.
Oh, dude, I know it. I
So
won't
did
watch the
KGF.
second one. No, KGF was awesome.
No, but KGF, the first one, ends like at that sacrifice scene, and he's like looking out like with shock, like, and then it just breaks, and then you have to go to the next one.
But it kind of ended because he fucking walked out. He saw, the people are there. He's like, okay, he's gonna lead them like that. It wasn't a dangerous scene like where the bomb's about to blow up, and all of a sudden, like you're waiting for the Batman voice to come in, come back next week, same time, same bad channel. Like, we didn't have to hear that. That's a movie. I just paid you $100 to watch you give me half a movie. Fuck you.
How is that a half a movie? It was there for 2 hours and a half. What are you talking about? Half a movie?
A movie has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. There's no
it
end,
doesn't.
so it's half a movie.
No, it doesn't.
Mic's dropped, dude, right there, dude. I'm telling you. Writing 101.
Well, since the mic's dropped, it's 11. Time to go. Thanks again to my esteemed guest, the Jada Geek, Super Fuzz, Make Havoc, and thanks once again for coming out, Comic Zombie. Good to have you out. Appreciate it. Appreciate everyone coming and watching. Take that second, click that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll be back here next week talking shit. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Peace.
Later.
Love, peace, and grasa de pollo.
That's right.
How do I leave this thing?
I got you.